Welcome to the Emerging Professional Series at the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is numbers, narratives, and navigating growth and with innovation and AI. A conversation with Rahul Shah, innovation leader at Capgemini, who has been at the forefront of emerging technologies from generative AI and blockchain to IoT and knowledge graphs. With an MBA from Alliance Manchester Business School and years of experience driving digital transformation across industries, Rahul brings deep experience in innovation, client engagement, and global leadership. Today, we will explore both his professional and personal journey, and of course, there will be some surprises. So, welcome, Rahul, today's coffee conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for having me over.
Let me explain you. There are three rounds: professional
Mm-hmm.
journey, personal journey, and a surprise rapid fire round where you will be in the hot seat and your inspiration, AI in the corporate workforce,
Okay,
which will be autographed and sent to you. For that, you have to be witty, fun, and quick. So, let's begin.
sure.
Freedom Line Amir Virani, hosted Coffee Conversation Legal Tech Evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal, startups, SMEs, world class technology, software licensing, and tech training. So, my first question: how has the journey shaped up, and what were the key defining moments?
Well, my journey has been of resilience, reinventing, and taking the hard path. As we say, the lotus doesn't grow in clear waters, it rises from the mud. And change is born from struggles, not comfort. So I have been reinventing myself every couple of years. My journey actually started when my mother got the first computer back in the 90s. That was the first time India was opening up to computers, and that exposed me to computers and brought me into the foray. From there, uh, I have been in this line. Always knew where I wanted to go. I knew I had to go into technologies and computers. Eventually got into data science, ETL, right at the start of my career. Then from there, I pivoted industry, started from telecom, went into finance, and as of now, like I'm like working with almost all industries, including automobile and manufacturing. Again, another pivot was my MBA, where it opened my eyes to a lot of new experiences. We can talk about that later on. But yes, these have been the key defining moments that have kind of shaped my career till now.
Wow, beautiful. So, let's dive deep into conversation. Rahul, you have led cross functional global teams on high stake projects. What's your formula for ensuring collaboration and alignment across different geographies and cultures?
First, the most important thing is understanding the cultural differences, understanding that every human is different and they have different needs, and then creating a chain of hierarchy. Because if you have to lead global teams, you need to have a very strong team at every center. You need to have the right people who understand you, who work with you, and are able. That's when you are able to achieve the right output, and that's what has been always my foray. uh, Choose your own team. So I've grown team right from hiring up to setting up and setting up the culture of the team. And after that, obviously, I mean, we go through the whole stages of storming, norming, and then eventually performing. So yeah.
Wow. So, Rahul, you have worked across banking, financial services, retail, automobile industries. What have been the biggest common technology challenges across these sectors?
So been working across industries for the past 20 years, and mainly across data, which now is like the gold. And the biggest challenges that companies have faced in the past 2 decades, and it still persists now, is data silos. How do we get the make most out of data? How do we bring the data together? Because every department, every function within the company works in their own side, their own way of storing data, their own way of processing data, and that's where most of the they have the right data are not able to.
Wow. Okay. So now AI is everywhere. You're deeply involved in Gen AI, agents, and digital transformation. How do you see agentic AI reshaping business workflow in the next 5 years?
Well, I'm both a pessimist and optimist when it comes to AI and agentic AI because uh, I see that it is going to eventually come everywhere. So it's not like any normal transformation that we have seen in the past that you bring in certain things. It's going to be as fundamental as bringing in automobiles or say electricity because it's going to automate everything. Currently in India, at the ground level, we don't see so much of AI hype over here, but it is eventually going to come from the West, where major workforce transformation is already underway. Companies like Salesforce have already brought in Salesforce and reduce their workforce over there. And eventually, we would uh, down the line see the effect of that in India as well, where we are heavily dependent on our services from the West. And I personally feel that it is going to have a rippling effect everywhere.
Wow. So, Rahul, having worked with C-suites on co-creating digital strategies, what advice would you give to leaders who feel overwhelmed by the rapid phase of technological change?
Uh, so obviously technology, and especially if you look at AI, is changing rapidly. Every couple of months, there's something new coming. Like for the past 2 years, every couple of months, things are changing, and people are finding it very hard to keep pace with it. The main advice would be that don't try to boil the whole ocean. Stay adaptable and take one piece at a time because we start looking for ROIs right from day one. It's not going to come. We will have to maybe experiment a little bit, but at the same time, uh, for making the most out of any digital transformation, the fundamental company strategy itself needs to change. As I mentioned earlier, data silos are always there. Until unless we bring in data uh, into a single platform, we are able to break that silo. We are not going to get the most out of AI as well because AI at the end of it requires data from your company. And until unless we are able to have a full AI and data strategy in place, it is going to be a long journey. So you should have patience.
Wow. So, Rahul, you have mentored startups and hackathon teams like N3XT Coder. What excites you the most about mentoring the next generation of innovators?
So that is actually Nix Coders. It was a German public hackathon that we mentored last year. And apart from that, yes, they have been mentoring other teams as well. The best part about working with next generation, and it's not only the mentorship outside the company, even within the company, at least in emerging tech, you are always working with Gen Z. And while we have experience behind us, we are learning things. Gen Z, whatever, I might cry on a daily basis that they're difficult to deal with. They are the ones who are digital natives. They are the ones who bring a fresh perspective, and they don't say that it cannot be done. They'll always start questioning you why and how can it be done. So there's always something to learn and bring fresh blood into the stream. So like it always rejuvenates you working with the next generation of innovators.
Wow. So let's go maybe down a lane. Your career spans from interning at DRDO's AI and Robotics Center to leading innovation for global businesses. How did that experience help in your career?
Yes, so DRDO was back in 2004. I was interning with the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics in Bangalore. And it was very interesting 6 months that I spent over there because it kind of grounded me. It gave me a sense of purpose that technology can actually bring in meaning to your work or day-to-day work because DRDO teams, the scientists working over there are actually working for India over here. They have a purpose-driven life, and actually that brought in a seed of self-actualization that since then I've been chasing like across my career, across my MBA, even now. It's all been about self-actualization that maybe the seed was brought in while I did my internship at Center for Artificial Intelligence.
Wow. So you've been a prodigy finance ambassador. I'm curious to know what is being this ambassador is all about. Empowering students. How did that experience influence your personal perspective on education and growth?
Okay. Uh, so it actually started with my own personal experience because uh, I always had that thing that I wanted to study abroad. I wanted to have a global exposure, and eventually, like in India, it becomes very difficult because most of the loans in India are collateralized based, and a lot of families are not able to do that. So even during my undergrad, I actually had offers from a lot of universities, but that point of time I couldn't take it up. But eventually, I myself took Prodigy loan to study at AMBS Manchester Business School, and after that, I wanted to be the ambassador to take it to other students because I know in India and other emerging countries there are so many students who want to study, and because of our collateralized loan structures and all, they are not able to go forward with it. So, like for the next couple of years after my graduation, I was kind of helping people spread the news around Prodigy and helping them achieve their dreams.
Wow. So Rahul, at Alliance Manchester Business School, you focus on strategy, digital economy, and entrepreneurship. How did that academic foundation shape your approach to innovation leadership?
Okay. Uh, so after working in India for almost a decade, Alliance Manchester Business School was a big change. And apart from the subjects that I studied over there, it was a global exposure. We had students from 29 countries studying with us, and that kind of opened the perspective and global culture. So you get to see how different countries are tackling the same problem. What's the best?
Mm.
Every culture has their own USP, their own way of working, and you learn a lot from there. Apart from that, during my stint over there in Manchester Business School, I was actually part of the blockchain team. We did win an award and got initial seed funding for our venture over there. So. Working with all the scientists during the uh, time over there, it kind of seeded the next phase for entrepreneurship, for innovation, and for setting up startups.
Wow. So Rahul, who has been your mentors, role model from the world of tech, innovation, AI, and what is one lesson that has stayed with you?
Uh, so one mentor, my mentor has been there from before I actually joined the world of AI or anything. It has been my grandfather. He has been my role model since the time I was growing up. Uh, he was a scientist, and
Mhm.
I think at that point in time, he was the first person to have studied abroad. If you have heard of our Institute of Himalayan Geology, so a lot of people who uh, you've seen documentaries about Kedarnath and all those things, they always bring in scientists from Body Institute. My granddad was actually the founding director for that, and he was a scientist, so he always had a different bend of mind. He always told me to chase excellence, and that's what I have been doing across my whole life. So learned a lot of things from him right from my childhood days, and that's what has taught me everything.
Wow. So let's talk about your startup, Usher Heritage. What is it about and how has experience been?
uh, so I started this company uh, just after my MBA. As I said, I got that entrepreneurship bug after my MBA, and I wanted to do something different. Uh, and it actually started with my own experience while I was coming back and I was in Egypt, and I could see that there was a lot of disconnect between how tourists were being charged by the tour guides. I mean, almost thousand x difference between the charges and all. And that's when I came back. I spoke to a lot of museums. I actually spoke to the directors within ASI, and that's when they all told me that the problem is there. Everything is working in silos, and across the world, not only in India, across the world, everything is working in silos. Uh, Again, I mean, like any big company, even in the heritage field, everything is siloed. There are a lot of coming together, even for museums, ASI sites, and everything. So basically, built up a marketplace where you can not only get information, but eventually, the purpose is to be a one-stop place for anything to do with culture and heritage. Right now, it's a little bit on the back foot because since I have a full-time job, but yes, it is still there. It is still in place and
Wow. So, last question for a professional journey around, Rahul. What advice would you give to young professionals entering tech innovation space?
uh, so one thing I would tell them is look for depth of domain and have a curiosity for technology because I mean you if you understand your domain you'll also understand the customer pain points and you'll know how to solve those things with the latest technology that are coming up because at the end of the day technology doesn't really matter, it's the pain point that you solve using the technology.
Wow. So let's go to next round and understand Rahul as a person. You have briefly talked about your grandfather, but we'd like to know more about your family and your formative years.
Sure. uh, as a child I was a loner and a nerd. I mean, obviously, if you get exposure to computers early on, you like just sit in silos. But I was a very curious person. I would spend hours outside. We had a big garden, so I would sit outside observing nature, and that's what helped me gain clarity because observing nature helps you focus on things, and that's what helped me bring in my focus on things growing up. Apart from that, we had my great grandmother. She was a deeply spiritual person. So if you have heard of Neem Karoli Baba's ashram in Kanchi, she was a part of his group. She used to live there with him, and then she grounded me in spirituality. So that was one of the formative things. My grandfather gave me a sense of purpose. My dad and mom, again, they showed me how to be meticulous in doing things. And then I have a sister who's, now she's doing a master's in sustainability in Germany. But yes, I mean, it was a warm family that kept everything.
Wow. So let's go to your days at Vishwarya Technological University. What are your memories, experiences from there?
So VTU, VTU is a university. I studied in Bangalore, one of the institutes affiliated to that, and it was my first experience outside home, going to Bangalore. And my mom actually said that you should just go on your own. You wanted to study abroad, so I mean, if you could go abroad alone, you should go there. Uh, when their experience, I remember my first experience of landing in Bangalore back in 2001 was it was like a small town out of Malgudi days, nothing, dusty roads, and we had I had my colleagues from all across India. I mean, it was a very good learning experience. A lot of localites, so a very different culture, understanding the culture over there and learning new things was a very good experience. And I think my whole journey on technology started from there eventually.
Wow. So what's that hobby or interest which helps you to recharge and unwind?
Uh, So, I would say my couple of hobbies are reading, traveling, and workout. So, reading and traveling kind of open your eyes to new ideas and cultures because uh, just watching YouTube and other things gives you a perspective of somebody else's idea. Reading and traveling lets you experience things and then make your own ideas over there. And obviously, working out on a daily basis actually keeps you healthy. and a healthy mind. So, I mean, that's one of the advice I've always received from my leaders within the company also, that if you have to go far, you should have a healthy body, because that's the first thing that gives up on you.
So, what are your travel plans in this year?
Uh, well, I'm traveling to Thailand later this month. Uh, that's one of the plans. Apart from that, I'll be going home for Diwali. That's like a family tradition, going home for Diwali every year. So yeah, two plans, concrete plans as of now.
Wow. As you said, you're from Uttarakhand. Uh, before we started the conversation, uh, so for our viewers out there, uh, if one is visiting Uttarakhand, what are the places to check in, food to have?
Okay. So Uttarakhand has always been almost like a black box for people. I mean, people, I remember when I actually came out for the first time, people didn't even know where's Dehradun and all those places. They had no exposure. Even right now, people have no exposure. So Uttarakhand is basically the hilly area that came out of the UP, and it is divided into two main districts, Garhwali and Kumaoni. So anybody
Mhm.
who's basically from Uttarakhand will either be a Kumaoni or a Garhwali. And most of the people know about Garhwal because we have got Kedarnath, Badrinath, Haridwar, Rishikesh, all the heritage circuit as part of Garhwal Hills. And Dehradun again, the capital is part of Garhwal. Kumaon is more of the silent cousin. uh, uh, Nainital, uh, Ranikhet, Pithoragarh, all these areas come under the Kumaon state. So while everybody is a Kumaoni, they have a lot of cultural differences. I mean, they have a set of differences, and like I mean, it's always like Garhwal is better, Kumaon is better. There's, I mean, like any other this thing, they always have this thing that okay, our culture is better than yours, kind of a thing. But yes, uh, if you go to the Kumaon side, there's a lot of food. Mostly the food would have a essence of uh, mustard. So mustard is a base in almost every food over there. The non-veg, the even the raita that we cook over there has grounded mustard over there. So because it gives you heat, so it has been something that you should try. You won't get it anywhere in India at least.
Wow. So, what is your childhood memory that makes you smile when you remember?
Uh, well, my room was almost like a space station. Uh, I had wires everywhere because I was that kind of a geek that I had my computers, my speaker systems, and everything. It was like almost like my den. And now I look back at it as like, I mean, I would still want to have that again. But yes, I mean, that was my comfort zone, and that like always makes me smile of having my full den space station kind of a place. And that I think kind of shaped what I am doing right now, because even right now, as part of the innovation lab, we are working with a lot of hardware and machines and everything. I mean, if just today we have got a new humanoid robot in our lab, so that'll be something that we'll be working
Wow. So, which is a book or movie that has changed your thinking or perspective?
on. There's been a lot of books and movies. So I generally like to I watch a lot of sci-fi movies because, like, again, that gives you what's coming on the future. I mean, it gives you a sense of future. Like Minority Report, if you go back to it, we are now facing that. Like another 5 years, everything that was part of that movie is going to be a reality. And then apart from that, other very interesting person that I keep on reading is Noval Yuval Harari. The latest book that I was reading was Nexus, where he talks about AI over there, and it's all about narratives and stories. So uh, that has kind of given me a very good perspective of how exactly the whole narrative around is changing, and how we should be careful when we take it forward.
Wow. So, my last one is a googly one. Describe Rahul in one line.
Uh, so Rahul is a dreamer who wants to leave a positive impact on the society and make it better, then I received it. Uh, have purpose, help people. So I mean, all across my working life also, I've always been chasing purpose. That whatever I am doing should benefit. I should be able to see the change that I'm making from whatever I am doing on a daily basis.
Wow. So let's put in the hot seat, Rahul, the rapid fire round. Gen AI or blockchain? What excites you more today?
Uh, Both. I mean, they are complementary. So we cannot say that there'll be one technology that will be better than other. Gen AI is obviously like right now. I'm working on that. But blockchain, while people say that it's a blockchain winter right now, it will come back because blockchain is more like a protocol technology that will be there. But on the application layer, Gen AI will be there. So it's both are complementary technologies which will eventually go together.
Wow. Your favorite color?
Black.
A city you did love to work from for a year.
Uh, Well, this is something like my soul city. We were in London before this, so I mean, I would obviously love going back because it kind of changes your worldview. So I would want to go back there.
Wow. Excel sheets or whiteboards?
Uh, I would prefer whiteboards, but eventually I end up doing a lot of Excel sheets because I mean they're more handy and it always reduce
I
time.
know, I know. One emerging fintech which is underestimated.
Uh, One emerging fintech. Uh, I mean, there are a lot of fintechs, especially in the UK, uh, which we don't know about in India, and maybe something like TransferWise. I don't know if people have heard about that. That was one of the big fintechs coming out of the UK, which kind of changed the way money can be transferred across countries. And yes, I mean, it's not a emerging fintech anymore. It's been 4 5 years since it came in, but yeah.
Wow. Your favorite Indian street food?
Indian street food, dabeli.
Your go-to comfort food?
My go-to comfort food, there's a lot of them. If you kind of ask me on a day-to-day basis, either it will be khatwani, which again is a Pahadi dish. It's like a black lentil soup. We almost make it every Sunday. That's one of my go-to food. Otherwise, it's I mean, for a more widespread thing, it's kadhi, chawal, and
Wow. The last one. Tea or coffee to recharge?
coffee all the time.
Yeah, the coffee share. So you did well, Rahul, and here's a book.
Thank you.
AI in workforce. So, Rahul, it's been an absolute pleasure having this conversation on a Saturday afternoon, diving into your journey, both the professional insights and the personal reflections. Your story highlights how curiosity, leadership, and innovation can create lasting impact across industries. I'm sure our audience will walk away inspired and better prepared to embrace the future of technology, innovation, AI, Gen I, and subscribe to the Coffee Corner Show with the 500 plus coffee speakers sharing their professional, personal insights, uh, implement in your lives, and see the changes. And we meet on Monday with another coffee speaker, continuing conversation, or a cup of coffee. So take care, enjoy your Sunday. Thank you.